Rob and Lizz, his morning crew on his radio. And this morning, the voice of this group, Mike Donahue, lead singer of 10th Avenue North, is along with us this morning. He's got the new song, All Together. And it's a Mike Donahue takeover. Good morning, Mike.
Well, thank you, Rob. I feel very good morninged.
I'm good. I'm glad.
Yes.
I'm glad.
We said it enough. Good morning.
He's got the Starbucks cup. He should be pretty good.
I'm well caffeinated, so I'm here.
Is it frou-frou stuff, or do you do the real coffee?
This was a hotel lobby coffee.
Oh.
So this is a version of coffee.
Okay, so.
That we'll call. I will, before I leave Greenville, I'm going to make my way over to a little shop called Methodical downtown, because that's my favorite shop in Greenville.
Oh, good. Well, I got you covered.
Yeah.
I got you covered.
You're fantastic.
You get free coffee.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so hey,
Order
good
what
friend.
you want.
Dude, you're like, how many, you're like full of estrogen in your family.
We have 4 daughters. Pray
Yeah.
for me. Having 4 daughters is great. Just means someone's always crying, and it's usually me. And no, I'm not praying for a boy, because the Lord apparently gives girls to a family that already has a man.
Oh,
no,
look at
he
that.
didn't go there.
All the girl dads out there, that's you're welcome.
Yes, Mike does the mic drop.
Exactly.
Mike Donahue with us this morning. Oldest is middle school?
She sure is. My 2 oldest are in middle school.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a lot of crying. My wife and I, this is the big parenting thing we're learning, is we don't send them away when they're escalating, you know, when they're losing their minds, because
Right.
they're developing a frontal lobe, so they can't actually function as reasonably as we would like them to. And so they're very driven by their emotions, and we are learning we don't send them away. We let them kind of lose their minds, and we're trying to just remain calm.
So you have one that just went into middle school?
One that in the great state of Tennessee, you start middle school in 5th grade.
Okay. Oh,
I
wow.
didn't know that.
Yes.
That's different.
early.
Yeah,
That's different.
Feels a little too early.
So
but-
you went, I guess more of your family went to the orientation. What was your 3-year-old up to?
Oh, I see where you're going with this. Yeah, I posted a video online. My 3-year-old is just a wild child, man, which I was a wild child, so she comes by it honestly. And I was sitting there in the orientation for middle school, and my 3-year-old is just laying on my lap and melting into the floor and flailing about. And I'm just sitting there videotaping her, going, this is what it looks like to be a parent at orientation.
But that's what the babies do. The babies need the attention.
My 3-year-old is so precocious. The other day, she's at Target with my wife, and they were buying a present for another little girl. And my wife gives her the present, says, now, be careful with this, Margot. It's fragile. You know, if you drop it, it'll break. And my 3-year-old, quick as a whip, snaps back at my wife and goes, my middle name is Careful. 3 years old.
No.
Yeah. So I got my work cut out for me
I
out
love
of that
it.
one.
I must meet her.
Mike Donahue with us this morning, his radio. It's Rob and Lizz. What is it like visiting New Mexico and sledding on sand?
Oh, White Sands, New Mexico. If you
Yeah.
can ever get there, huge national park, and it's just white sand hills everywhere.
It looks like snow.
Yeah, and it's the thing to do. You go and you sled down it, and we were on tour out there, and we all went sledding on this sand, and it felt like you were on Mars or something.
Was it something like you've always wanted to do, or when you got there, they said, you've got to go do this?
Exactly. I had no idea it existed. No idea. And this was kind of, Instagram has made available things that most of us didn't know about before. You used to do this all the time. You show up places and they go, you got to go check this out. And yeah, if you're ever in White Sands, New Mexico, go give it a sled.
Seriously, I saw your post.
Yeah.
I thought you were on snow, and I'm like, why is Mike in his bathing suit
Sure.
in snow?
Yeah. Pretty hardcore.
Yeah, right?
It looks very Tom Cruise-ish as well. I thought, is this from Mission Impossible, like 27? What is this?
Yes, that's it. It doesn't fit in any compartment in your brain, because you're thinking it's snow, it's not. It's sand. You're thinking you're on a mountain, you're not. You're in a desert. It's a lot of variables there happening.
And a lot of sweat, I'm sure. All together, that's the song. Mike Donahue along with us on his radio. It's his morning crew.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
It's Rob and Lizz, his morning crew on his radio. This man's voice is familiar because of 10th Avenue North. Great songs. And it hasn't stopped, because now Mike Donahue is solo. This is his song, All Together. And Mike Donahue along with us this morning on his radio.
Here I am.
Let me tell you, I'm seeing how cool your family is. I love the relationship that you have with your dad.
Oh, my dad is a rock star, man.
And
He
you
is.
look like him.
Oh, I know.
It's amazing.
We actually, in our song "Greater Than All My Regrets," the music video, I'm aging backwards, but it starts with my dad as me. He's in the music, and when I asked him to be in it, he about fell out of his chair.
No way.
Oh, he is one proud papa. I mean, we'll walk into a coffee shop, and my dad will go, "So, I can tell you guys like music," and I go, "Yeah." They go, "Yeah." He goes, "My son here's in a band." You know, I mean,
He's a
the
proud papa, right?
it's the best, I guess, unless you're standing there next to him.
What kind of granddad is he to your kids?
So he makes crepes, but he doesn't call them crepes. He calls them Papa's pancakes. And anytime he comes to stay, he could have gotten in at 2 a.m. in the morning, and he's up at 6 a.m. making Papa's pancakes for the girls.
That's
He's
what
branded
Papa
them.
does.
So whenever they run into a crepe when they're older, it's Papa's pancakes.
No, for real. We got to we saw a crepe stand I forget where we were, and the girls go, "They have Papa's pancakes."
Look
here."
at that. See?
that's so
They'll
sweet.
never, ever forget that.
the
What's
best.
amazing to me is when I see images of you and your brothers and your dad all together, it's like it's the same person. You all have the same eyes.
Yeah, Irish eyes are always smiling, they say. You know?
Yeah.
And I think it's just because we're up to something.
Oh, is that what it is?
This
the
is what
sparkle.
this is what I'll tell you about my dad, and I wish more people understood this. I'm learning a lot in the early church. The highest virtue was hospitality, and you actually see it in Scripture if you read. It's like, be hospitable, take in strangers. And my dad is so hospitable. I think they had 8 exchange students through the years, and to this day, I've sent 6, 7 different independent bands of mine because my parents live right off 95 on the East Coast. And my dad will be, one time I sent my friend's band, and my dad is standing there on his porch grilling chicken and salmon for his band when they got there at 1:30 in the morning.
Look at that.
He had a headlamp on his forehead.
I can
and
see this.
He's grilling. I mean, it just
We
all the
love
way.
your dad already.
All the way. He'll make chicken for you.
I don't have a dad. I want him to be my dad.
He will. He'll adopt you.
I'm take it.
Consider it
I'll
done.
take it. Okay. So you're an author now.
Apparently.
Yeah. I mean, you're working on a second book. Is that right?
I was working on it last night, yeah.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting in a hotel room working on the book.
I was on the whole drive here, I wasn't driving. I was sitting in the passenger seat. I was working on it because my rough draft is due tomorrow.
He
so
has
Is
people.
it really?
I'm a bit behind the 8 ball a little bit.
So your first book, I read it, Finding God's
you did.
Life for My Way. Yeah, because I was telling you about it. I loved it. You gave me the advanced copy. I'm like, ooh, I'm in. And the stories that you had in it. But how in the world did you get Tim Tebow to endorse your book?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, he's just a big fan.
He just picked it up. He called you and said, "Can I get a copy? Because I just love you so much and
So
want to read it."
I went to my publisher's office in Colorado Springs, and they had this huge life-size cutout of Tim Tebow. So I did a series of videos where I was standing next to Tim Tebow and maybe doing his voice for him. Is that, "Man, I love Mike. He's my favorite guy, and he's the best." That's
Is
how.
that your Tim Tebow?
That's
Yeah.
how he doesn't that how he
I
sounds?
thought it was Tim. Tim, are you here? Mike Donahue with us this morning on his radio. The song All Together. More with Mike coming up.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Mike Donahue, the voice of 10th Avenue North, with his song All Together. Mike's along with us this morning on his radio, which let me let you know, he makes a pretty good Aladdin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because your whole family did a theme of costumes of Aladdin.
My sister is the instigator on that. She loves a good Halloween theme. So we don't just dress up. We get 20 people to dress up around a theme. And it's, you know, a real unifying kind of thing. This year is the Decomposers. So they're going to be Werewolf Gang, Amadeus Mozart, and Bach from the Dead.
Oh my goodness.
And instead of
on.
Rachmaninoff, I'm going to be Rachmaninoff, you know. So
That is funny.
We
Yeah.
have to meet your sister because that is super creative.
she's wild, man.
You wrote a song with her.
I did,
Yeah.
yeah. A song on my new record called Unity Hymn, which the crazy thing is my sister's in a band called The Lone Bellow, and she does sort of Americana music, and we never write together, which is crazy. And last year during the pandemic, you know, we were in each other's bubble, and she lives on my street. And she came over one day, goes, "I had this melody in a dream." And we sat and we wrote a song in 15 minutes.
It sounds good too.
Yeah, she's
Unity
good.
Hymn, right?
Yeah.
That's so good.
In a dream.
I know, right? When you get a melody in a dream, you got to write it.
You
You
wake
have to.
up
Yeah.
and got to write it down and stuff,
Were
right?
you always really close with your sister?
Her and I weren't. She was 4.5 years younger than me growing up. So, I just thought of her as little sister. And then when I got to college, I remember I came back after my freshman year of college, and she was in high school then. I went, hey, you're kind of cool now. And we've been friends ever since then, I guess.
Best thing she ever heard in her life, I bet.
That's so
Big
good.
brother says I'm cool.
Mike Donahue, along with us this morning on his radio, and he's unplugged. Let's hit it. We
Come
wanna hear
on,
ya.
Mount. Let's remind you who I am here. I was a singer, 10th Avenue North. We did songs like this. No man is an island we can be found. No man is an island. Let your guard down. You don't have to fight me. I am for you. We're not meant to live this life alone. Or this one. God, you don't need me, but somehow you want me. Oh, how you love me. Somehow that frees me to take my hands off of my life and the way it should go. Oh, 'cause you want me. Somehow you want me. The King of Heaven, he wants me. 'Cause this world has lost its grip on me. So what's weird about our band is a lot of people like to write us messages over the years telling us their big, bad, dark secrets. And I would go, man, I don't know if I'm the person you need to be telling this to. Isn't there anyone in your community you can tell that to? And sadly, some people say, no. I said, man, we gotta remind ourselves of the grace we get to give each other, right? So, no more playing Mr. Nice Guy. I'm done pretending that I'm alright. I fake a laugh, keep acting upper class like I never had a struggle in my whole life. Ooh, oh, can I tell you the state I'm in? Ooh, 'cause the cracks are where the light gets in. Maybe we don't have to have it all together. What if grace made it safe to tell you the truth? Oh, maybe we can make a shelter for each other. Turning lies into light, and we'll make it through. All together, yeah. Love keeps our broken pieces all together now. I want a church that looks like 12 steps, where all are honest and accepted, but it's gonna take myself to cultivate that kind of life that others haven't seen yet. Oh, do I dare tell you the state I'm in? Ooh, 'cause the cracks are where the light gets in. Maybe we don't have to have it all together. What if grace made it safe to tell you the truth? Oh, maybe we can make a shelter for each other. Turning lies into light, and we'll make it through. All together, yeah. Love keeps our broken pieces all together. But am I the only one who struggles here and now? Am I the only one who wrestles with my doubt? And if I tell you all my secrets, will you go running out? There's only one way to find out. Yeah. There's only one way to find out. Maybe we don't have to have it all together. Yeah. What if grace made it safe to tell you the truth? Oh, maybe we can make a shelter for each other. pieces all together.
Look at that.
Wow.
Mike Donahue, His Radio. Thank you for the time this morning.
It was an absolute joy.
It was so good. Hey, but if you missed any of our time with Mike, you will see it with His Radio on demand. It's the podcast, YouTube, on Apple TV, Roku. Just download the new His Radio TV app.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I apologize, and this is not our doing, but there is a shortage of fish sticks.
I don't know how we'll get through the day.
And people are going to have, well, listen, there are people who love fish sticks.
Yeah.
I'm not one. I could take him or leave him. I try not to eat the fried stuff. But, there's a shortage, and then people who love fish sticks, they're not going to be around. They're around, but there's just a shortage.
Yeah, when my kids were little, we went through boxes of fish sticks. They loved them.
Some kind of dispute at the border. These are all coming from Canada.
Canada and the U.S.
26 million pounds of fish
It's just waiting
are affected.
to be put into little rectangles.
Yeah. Well, these are the rectangle fish that they catch out of the Canadian waters, evidently. But there's a shortage. So we're kind of joking, but we're not, because it's a real thing.
It is. I mean, we're joking because all I can see is just fish stick, just waiting to get across the border. Hello, I got my passport.
Somebody's got to eat me.
Yes.
I'm waiting for tartar sauce.
Right, but there is an actual shortage. So if you go to the store and you're looking for your Gorton's Fisherman or whatever, you may or may not find the fish sticks. And if you have a kid that absolutely loves fish sticks, what's that conversation going to be like?
I know. It's going to be really rough.
Yeah.
Try to pull it off with chicken fingers. I don't know.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Liz how she would make this order. I'm going to give you an order.
Okay.
See how you'll do it. I want 12 sandwiches, half white bread, half wheat bread.
Okay.
What would you do with that order?
Okay, you got 12 sandwiches. 6 would be on white bread. 6 would be on wheat bread.
Okay, that should be the way that it's made. But not for this one lady. This one lady went and picked up her order. The sandwiches were made the way that she said, half white, half wheat.
Okay.
However, the bread on the top was white. The bread on the bottom of the sandwich was wheat. It was half white,
You're
half
halfway
wheat.
healthy.
Yeah. So, they got I had a friend tell me one time this fact. Communication is the message received. So the people who got that order are like, okay, she wants it like this, she'll get it like this. And they thought the bread on top was white, the bread on the bottom was wheat.
Oh, can you imagine?
get it.
They thought, this lady is really picky.
Yeah. Where she meant it the way that Liz interpreted the order.
It, yeah.
So one day, talk about getting the order wrong. One day, my wife, when she was in college, she was coming home and I'm so hungry. She went by McDonald's to get a cheeseburger and fries. She got home and opened up, and the cheeseburger only had a bun.
There was no burger?
There was no burger.
There was no cheese?
There was no pickle. There was no cheese.
No little onion?
There was no ketchup or anything on the thing. It was just a bun, and that was it.
She's on a total bread diet.
That was all. Yeah, the opposite of what an Atkins is, or the keto. That's what she got.
Oh my goodness. I bet she was so disappointed, especially when you're so hungry and you want your burger or whatever, and it's completely not.
When you get the order completely messed up and wrong.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So this one lady goes, I want 12 sandwiches, half white, half wheat bread. And instead of getting 6 with white bread on it and 6 with wheat, it was one sandwich that would have a white piece of bread and the wheat piece of bread on it. That's how they interpreted the order. It went wrong, but that's how it goes. So we started to hear some people that said, oh, wait till you hear what happened to me with my order.
Courtney said, when I was a little girl, I ordered a cheeseburger, like a lot of kids do, ketchup only. She gets it. She goes to eat it. It's a bun and ketchup. There's no burger.
No burger?
There's no cheese. There's no burger. Just the ketchup only.
That happened to my family once. Okay, let's check in with the open mic. This is on the My HISRadio app.
Hi, this is Vanessa. So I ordered 2 burgers with the works. I got one with everything that I needed to be, and the other one was just a plain burger.
Oh, no.
How does that get confused?
2 burgers, one with nothing on it, one with all the works. Thanks, Vanessa, for checking in to the My His Radio app and the open mic.
Maybe they took part of the works and put them on the one burger and shared.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's what they did.
Something like that.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
5 days to go to the 4-day share-a-thon that's coming up. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. And let me tell you, when you give a gift of support, you are helping to share the hope of Jesus to people just like this.
Yes, I've just moved here. I've been out of work for a week because my mother's sick, so I've left Tennessee. I was looking for a radio station, and I love your radio station. I donated $50. I don't know where my next paycheck's coming from. I've never collected unemployment, and believe it or not, I am on my way to my interview right now. Just got a phone call. God works in mysterious ways. And I was just coming off the elevator at the unemployment center, and it said going up. Appreciate your blessing.
Isn't that great? Gets off the elevator, and there's the sign, going up. That means things are... And to give... And never, I mean, this is the first time he's ever found his radio in town because his mom is sick. I mean, we've been through it since March 2020, you know? And people are finding the hope of Jesus because of your gift of support to his radio. And then they tune it in, just like he did. And then is finding music that is encouraging him and hearing messages of hope that encourages him every day. And things, like he said, coming out of the elevator are now looking up.
Yeah, and he's taking a step in faith. I mean, he said he doesn't have a job right now, but he moved here to take care of his mom, be close to her, and not having a job, just think how devastating that can be. But he knew what gives him hope is going to give the hope of Jesus to somebody else, and so he gave. And if that is kind of where you are in your life and you want to share the hope of Jesus with somebody else, you can go ahead and give us a Kickstart. Share-a-thon is next week. You can text the word GIVE to 800-447-7234.
Consider doing a $30 a month gift. You can do that online as well at hisradio.com or even tap on the My His Radio app. And I promise you, as we get close to Share-a-thon, your gift is going to be a Kickstart to Share-a-thon on Tuesday if you do that gift right now. And you will be helping by sharing the hope of Jesus with others.